Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, I've got a story that's not just a personal fiasco but also a deep dive into the complexities of hotel operations and management. Trust me, you don't want to miss this one. So, as many of you know, I travel extensively for work, consulting with hotels and resorts on optimizing their operational efficiency. Last month, I was scheduled to speak at a conference in Singapore about advanced revenue management strategies in the hospitality industry. Given the nature of my trip, I decided to stay at a hotel that was reputed for its cutting-edge implementation of dynamic pricing models and customer relationship management systems. This place was supposed to be the epitome of modern hotel management, a real-life case study, if you will. I arrived in Singapore on a humid Tuesday afternoon. The city was buzzing, preparing for the annual F1 Grand Prix, which meant hotels were operating at near 100% occupancy rates. According to STR Global's latest data, Singapore's hotel occupancy during major events averages around 98.5%, pushing the industry's operational capabilities to their limits. As I approached the hotel, I was immediately impressed by the architecture, a sleek, sustainable design boasting LEED Platinum certification. The lobby was a spectacle. Automated check-in kiosks, robotic concierge services, the whole 9 yards. Now, here's where things started to deviate from the script. I proceeded to the automated kiosk to check in. The interface was intuitive, likely designed following Jakob Nielsen's usability heuristics. But when I tried to scan my passport, the system failed to recognize it. No big deal, technology can be fickle. I flagged down a staff member, a guest relations officer, who, according to her name tag, spoke 5 languages. Impressive, right? She attempted to assist but quickly realized the system had crashed. She apologized profusely and escorted me to the traditional check-in desk. As someone who appreciates redundancy planning and operations, I felt reassured. However, at the desk, there was a significant queue. Turns out, the property management system, PMS, had suffered a cyber attack earlier that day, compromising their ability to process check-ins and access guest reservations. In hospitality, cybersecurity is critical. With the average hotel undergoing 41 cyber attacks per month, according to a 2022 TrustWave report, it's astounding how underprepared establishments can be. After a 45-minute wait, a significant deviation from the industry standard check-in time of 5 minutes, I finally reached the front desk. The staff looked harried, understandable given the circumstances. They manually checked me in, a tedious process that involved photocopying documents and filling out forms by hand. I proceeded to my room on the 23rd floor. The elevator ride was interesting. The elevators were packed, violating the recommended capacity guidelines established by the American Society of Mechanical Engineers, ASME. Safety first, folks. When I reached my floor, the hallway lighting was dim, below the 100 lux standard recommended for hotel corridors. It felt unwelcoming and slightly eerie. Entering my room, I noticed a stark contrast to the lobby's modernity. The design was dated, the furniture showed noticeable wear, and there was a faint smell of mold. I checked the HVAC system, suspecting poor maintenance. According to the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, inadequate HVAC maintenance can lead to indoor air quality issues, including mold growth due to condensation. This isn't just unpleasant, it poses health risks. I attempted to adjust the thermostat but found that it was locked behind a plastic case. Hotels sometimes do this to control energy costs, but it's generally considered a guest comfort faux pas. The room was set at 24 degrees Celsius, 75 degrees Fahrenheit, slightly above the optimal sleeping temperature of 18.3 degrees Celsius, 65 degrees Fahrenheit, recommended by the National Sleep Foundation. Undeterred, I decided to freshen up. Heading into the bathroom, I discovered that the toiletries were half used, a clear violation of basic housekeeping protocols and a potential health hazard. The bathtub had soap scum and a few stray hairs. Not exactly 5-star standards. Housekeeping in hotels should follow the standards set by the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA, and the hotel's own Standard Operating Procedures, SOPs. These lapses indicated systemic issues, possibly stemming from inadequate staff training or understaffing, a common problem with an average staff-to-room ratio decreasing industry-wide as hotels attempt to cut costs. I called down to the front desk to request a room change. The line rang endlessly before disconnecting. Communication failures in hotels are critical, especially considering that, according to the International Hotel and Restaurant Association, 67% of guest complaints are service-related. Frustrated, I decided to go down and speak to someone in person. On my way, I noticed that several other guests were congregated in the lobby, animatedly discussing their own grievances. It appeared I wasn't alone in my dissatisfaction. I approached a different staff member, a duty manager named Alex, and explained the situation. He listened attentively, which I appreciated. Active listening is a key component of effective guest relations, after all. Alex apologized and offered to upgrade me to a suite. I accepted, hoping this would turn things around. The suite was indeed more spacious, but to my dismay, the issues persisted. The Wi-Fi signal was weak, fluctuating between 1 to 2 bars. In today's digital age, robust internet connectivity is not a luxury, it's a necessity. A survey by Hospitality Technology showed that 90% of guests consider free, high-speed Wi-Fi as their top amenity. I ran a speed test, 0.5 megabits per second download and 0.2 megabits per second upload. Practically unusable. Determined to salvage the evening, I decided to order room service. Browsing through the menu, I noticed that prices were exorbitant, about 30% higher than the city's average for comparable items. While hotels do mark up room service, this was excessive. I ordered a simple Caesar salad and a bottle of sparkling water. Estimated delivery time, 20 minutes. 40 minutes later, no food. I called room service, no answer. An hour passed. Finally, there was a knock at the door. The server arrived, unapologetic, and the food was cold. The salad was wilted, and the sparkling water was room temperature. At this point, my patience was wearing thin. I asked the server about the delay. He shrugged and mentioned they were understaffed due to budget cuts and increased demand from the influx of guests for the Grand Prix. This highlighted a significant operational flaw: failure to align staffing levels with occupancy rates. It's basic workforce management to scale staff according to projected demand, often calculated using historical data and event scheduling. I decided to take my concerns back to Alex, the duty manager. This time, I approached the conversation with a different angle. I pointed out that as a consultant specializing in hotel operations, I was observing patterns indicative of systemic failures. Ineffective staffing models. Understaffing during peak occupancy violates the Erlang-C formula applications in workforce management, leading to service delays and decreased guest satisfaction. Poor maintenance protocols. Neglecting HVAC and cleanliness standards suggests lapses in total quality management (TQM) practices. Inadequate training. Staff members seemed ill-equipped to handle guest issues, indicating a lack of investment in human resource development (HRD). Technology over-reliance without backup. The cyber attack exposed vulnerabilities in their IT infrastructure and a lack of proper business continuity planning (BCP). Alex listened but seemed overwhelmed. He admitted that the hotel had recently undergone a change in ownership, leading to cuts in operational budgets and a push towards automation without proper implementation. I suggested that these issues could not be resolved at the managerial level alone and requested a meeting with the general manager, GM. Alex hesitated but agreed to arrange it. The next afternoon, I met with the GM, Ms. Cheng. I laid out my observations, emphasizing that guest experiences like mine could severely damage the hotel's reputation, especially in the era of instant online reviews where a single negative post can reach thousands. I also highlighted the potential financial implications. According to a Cornell University study, a 1-star increase in a hotel's online rating can lead to a 9% increase in revenue. Conversely, negative reviews can have a substantial detrimental impact. Ms. Cheng acknowledged the issues and confessed that the hotel was struggling with the transition post-acquisition. They had switched to a new PMS without adequate staff training, leading to operational disruptions. I offered my professional services to conduct a comprehensive operational audit and devise a strategic improvement plan. She seemed receptive and agreed to consider it. Returning to my room, I hoped things might improve, but that night, I was disturbed by persistent noise from the street, construction work that continued well past midnight. Apparently, the hotel hadn't invested in soundproofing, a standard feature in urban hotels to ensure guest comfort. By morning, sleep-deprived and exasperated, I decided to check out early. At the front desk, the agent attempted to charge me for the full stay, including the inedible room service meal. I contested the charges, referencing the Service Level Agreement, SLA, expectations and the hotel's failure to meet basic standards. After some back and forth and the invocation of consumer protection laws under the Singapore Tourism Board regulations, they agreed to waive the additional charges. I moved to a different hotel, a smaller boutique establishment known for its exceptional service quality, verified through comprehensive online reviews and industry accreditations. The difference was night and day. Personalized service, impeccable room conditions, and proactive staff who anticipated needs. A textbook example of the service profit chain in action. In reflecting on this ordeal, several key takeaways emerge. Technology is a double-edged sword. While automation and advanced systems can enhance efficiency, they require proper implementation and backup plans. Over-reliance without preparedness leads to vulnerabilities. Staff investment is non-negotiable. Cutting costs by reducing staff or skimping on training undermines service quality and, ultimately, profitability. Operational alignment is crucial. All components of hotel operations, from maintenance to food and beverage, must be aligned with occupancy rates and guest expectations. Guest feedback is gold. Active solicitation and incorporation of guest feedback can identify issues before they escalate, fostering continuous improvement. For my fellow professionals in the hospitality industry, this experience reinforces the importance of holistic operational management. Neglect in one area can cascade into widespread service failures. For travelers, especially those seasoned in the industry, it serves as a reminder to look beyond the facade. High-tech features and grand exteriors are impressive, but the core of hospitality remains service quality and guest satisfaction. Do your research. Look for recent reviews that mention both positives and negatives. Ask questions. Don't hesitate to reach out to the hotel with specific inquiries before booking. Trust but verify. Even with high ratings, remain observant of the service quality upon arrival. Before I wrap up, I'd like to extend an offer to Ms. Cheng and her team. The hospitality industry thrives on collaboration and shared knowledge. I'm willing to assist in turning things around because, at the end of the day, elevating industry standards benefits us all. Thank you for sticking with me through this detailed account. If you've had similar experiences or have insights to share, please drop a comment below. Let's get a discussion going. Don't forget to like this video if you found it informative, share it with your network, and subscribe for more deep dives into the nuances of the hospitality industry. Until next time, stay savvy and keep pushing for excellence.